that just means I have a different job than him. And if you don't do your job, then how are you going to help him? And if you don't help him, how's he going to help you? The coach has to, no, you're not snapping, you're pawing it, almost like swordfish. Don't worry about power, flick. Yes, out of the 100 back to 200. That was perfect, that's it. Now do a couple more like that, and then we're gonna go to the next one. Nice, good. Don't worry about power, don't step. That hurt, now I felt that in my elbow. Now we're starting to get that speed and power combination. And we're not even trying for that, we're just trying to develop the proper mechanics. Nice, okay, so it's flick, but now it's a little more proper punching technique because we're rolling the body, right? Transverse plane for the power, let's try that. So flick with body mechanics, roll the shoulder, go ahead. Just, so now, do that to me, that shoulder. Get a little closer and step back. Oh, that's it. That's what I want you to do when you jab now. So flick it, roll the shoulders, snap it. Go. Nice. Let me see your cross. That's good. I'd rather be hit by your cross than you do that. Hip. So, do that to me. Yeah, snap it. That's it. So it's a short, tight arc. In skating, my foot's out and I go slow. Look at my body once I pull my foot in, right? Change center gravity, increase your speed. All right, so flick it, roll the shoulders, inside, hip. I gotta take it back because you're hurting. Nice job. Well, let's try that. Inside, hip. Beautiful job, man. Looks great. My body, I can arm it, but if I can use my whole body, then I have it. Right? So the key now is we want to throw it. We don't want to punch like most people punch, which is really more of a push. And you can get power of that because of your body development, your strength, and your speed and your mechanics. But we want our power to come from explosive movement. That snap, that power, the whole body mechanics. We have to coordinate and use the whole body. That's why when I take a piece of metal and I flick it to you, it goes doink. But when I put that on my gun and I shoot you, it blows you away. All I change is velocity, right? So that's what we kind of want. So with your good arm, your right arm, throw me a ball. Your right arm. Now with your left arm, throw me a ball. Yeah, you want the whole body involved. So now there's no more thought process. You're just nice and relaxed and you just explode and you don't push. You throw and I catch. So let's do flick. Nice. Roll the body. Shoulder. Hip. Throw it. Nice. Relax your whole body. Don't step. Relax your body. Throw. Woo! There's a certain level they're all the same. They really are. Same with the chest. So what we're trying to do is not only enhance and perform using proper body mechanics, but we're also trying to use proper body athleticism. Meaning not long and slow. We can be easy and explosive. So we can amp up the central nervous system for our training so we can react. As we develop a live awareness, because things are coming quicker. Versus things are coming slower, and I can start to do things that I wouldn't normally do when I'm in the fight for real, because the guy in the fight for real is like, boom, boom, you know. So we really want to work on not only the mechanics of the punch, but then the athleticism of the punch. The arc is not long and wide, it's short and tight, and everything is explosive. But I don't flex my forearm. That's driving with the brakes on. On impact, I flex because that's support for the wrist. But a lot of people are unaware that they don't realize they're using what we call improper muscle improvement patterns. They're flexing muscles. I've seen a lot of guys and they're flexing their trap. The delt. Why are you flexing the lead delt on a rear punch? I don't know how he's doing that. So we have to kind of step back and develop this awareness of our body and what we're doing. It's like Ajarn kind of did with you. It's like, you notice how your stance is or your structure. If your shoulder's out when you punch, I can move you, but if it's locked in, so we have to develop that awareness of our body so that we can perform at a higher level. And it looked really good. Did anyone not think they somewhat improved their jab on this quick session? I mean, I felt it, but it's easy for me to say it, but it's better if you say, yeah. And it's pretty amazing because most times when we adjust things, it's like taking a step or two back. I would work at athletes and I would talk about starting position. I don't like that. good. If you don't like it, then it is different to you. And if it's different, then it's going to change your training. You have to adapt to it. When people say, oh yeah, I felt perfect, then they didn't make that adjustment we asked them to because it's not foreign to it. And so it's good if it was different. And you see, what's interesting is we made an adjustment and we didn't see two sets back. It seems like everyone says, no, I got more speed, or I got more pop, or I got more power in my jab. We're not even trying to develop the power jab yet. So it's good that we're making adjustments and you're already seeing growth. Now, when you cultivate this, then you're going to go to another level. And again, this isn't a power jab. This is just a jab. You just got more power. And then we do the cross. Then we got to do the hook. And then we got to put it in with the footwork. Then we got to do it with the kick. And then we got to put it in so you seamlessly transition from punching and kicking and kicking and punching. That's when you're on another level. There's no thought process. And your opponent doesn't see kick or punch. They feel it. Because they don't see that transition. Because it's not a kick and a punch or a punch and a kick. Those two motions are part of the same motion. And you can just flow into it because you develop what we call coordination of versatility in your skill set. That's what we're trying to develop with you.
So I'll also point out to you guys that what Ajarn Bob really introduced you to was what we refer to as a kinetic chain. So if you look at it, when you're first, your hand moves, then your body moves. And when you get that connection behind it, that's the synchronicity. That's when everything you hit with the absolute power that your body can develop. But if you're a little off, that's okay. I always say, like, if you shoot for the stars, so what if you miss and hit the moon? Right? So if you get everything together and you hit, that's why some people just hit harder than others. You know, like if you look at baseballs, why is one player hitting it over the fence? Why isn't every player hitting it over the fence? Because that person has a certain understanding of the kinetic chain and how to get that power so that it hits right at that right moment. And that's what he's kind of showing you today. This is like really old stuff. And so when you feel that, that's that kinetic chain. Everything's coming out from the ground, and the power is going right out your hand. And that's what you want. You want to go through that target, right? Not to the surface of the target. But first we work on the surface, then we work on a little bit more depth, and then everything's synchronized and you get that chain.
I was never taught this in any boxing gym. I've been in multiple gyms. I trained at Beatson's gym in Brooklyn. I trained at Freddie Roach's gym, Wild Card in Hollywood. My first boxing coach was actually Ajarn. I got this from him. I mean, we might not have called it that then, but I really got to bring the speed. He trained us in was what he called tool development. And so I actually got it from him, but we didn't call it what we did. And then when I went to boxing gym, you know my footwork? My coach said, get in the ring and move around. I go, how? He goes, well, just kind of move like this, move like this. Ajarn taught me footwork, all over the footwork. And he did it the way when we drilled it for tool development. I didn't get that in the gym. I'm not criticizing my boxing coaches, they just had different approaches and different ways they taught, you know. And then I realized you got to make a change. And I'm surprised. I got brought in to train the goalies at Cornell University, the Speedy Joey Quickness training. I'm not a certified coach for Speedy Joey Quickness, and I saw the training, and I just thought there should be a lot of different things. And again, I got that from Ajarn, and he never did a Judo Ladder training with me. He's done it, but he never taught. But it was the principles he's showing. I'm like, oh my God, you know. So it's interesting. So like my coach said, oh yeah, he fought in this gym and that gym, and I always tell people, well, my first boxing coach was actually Ajarn, and he trained LA boxing gym, which was one of the Main Street gym in LA. Main Street gym, the Sugar Ray Robinson. I know you don't know him, you should. Anyway, so yeah, so it's great stuff that we try to give you in a progression so you can understand it. Because when you know your why, your what is more powerful. So when you understand the science behind the jab, all of a sudden when it's effortless, you start like Ajarn Prince, you're going to hit it out of the park. That doesn't mean you have to know every little detail of the science. No, you got to have a general understanding of what we're doing, why we do it, and then you can take it to another level. So that's kind of like what we're doing.
When you attach a why, you get a purpose. And then you're going to get better and better and better. And that's the key. All right, you guys coming tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You guys have a great night.